Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
And 3.
Number 2.
1.
Woohoo!
Yeah, America, we know it's we had an extra weekend there, but
Hey, bro, life happens.
life happens. But hey, we are back, and you are
You're welcome.
absolutely welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave,
I'm Juan.
and this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you kindly. Beautiful Saturday here in.
Man, it's been a nice week in Baton Rouge. We got
I know.
yesterday it was like down in the 40s.
It's very, it's I even fired up the heater this past week on one of them pretty days. I opened up the windows upstairs and got that heater going. I don't know. It's not like I remember back in the old days. In the old days, that first time the heater came on, that smelled like almost like sugar cane burning, man. I mean,
Dude, mine smelled because I came home one day from work. And it wasn't that it just had that chill in the air inside. So I just wanted to make it kick on. And then I got worried because, I had that AC problem a while back. I said, oh my gosh, is this thing burning? It's fine.
Just love this. Do you ever do you AC around here, you don't worry about it as much because you're running the AC all the time, all the time, all the time. My concern every time it gets, every year, first time you fire up that heater, is it going to come on?
Yeah.
Cause I don't light pilot lights.
No, I'm not doing that.
Even my hot water heaters, when I had one
I'm
changed,
not even sure I know how to do that, to be honest with you.
and I don't want to read the instructions, and it's one of those things. You hire somebody else to do it,
Yeah.
or if you're lucky enough to have a friend, and you may feel a little emasculated that another grown man has to come do something that takes about 30 seconds. But I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
No,
it.
we used to have in the house we lived in previously, we had a gas fireplace. And those things were more for show than anything. It's about the equivalent of lighting your gas grill in your house, as far as the amount of heat it throws out.
Oh yeah, very little heat. Yeah.
But I'd light it every now and then, but it was always scary, because you lit it once or twice a year and a half ago or so, and now it's like, all right, then you're pumping the thing to make the gas flow. It's like I'm gonna blow myself up sitting there.
We've been in the house we're in right now for I think 23 years, and I've got a gas fireplace in the living room that has never been lit.
Yeah,
I want to say probably when we had the house inspected, I'm sure they turned it on back then, but forget about it. There's no, you're right. There's no.
When I had a real fireplace, I used to light it a lot more because I'm, like that whole pyromaniac aspect where I like to play with the fire.
It's fun until you got to clean it up.
Yeah.
Right. We were in Georgia. The time we lived in Georgia, same thing. And I used to like that house in Georgia because the house was built the same year I was born. So I always felt like I had
a special camaraderie.
I had a special connection with that house. We were the same age, and it had an authentic, legit fireplace in it. Which as a Southerner, you get there, and you just can't wait, right? And then it's sort of dangerous because we weren't, we weren't on the internet back then. There weren't YouTube videos or like just
Good
helpful
point.
hints. Like, now, thankfully, I kind of mentioned it to him, and somebody who lived up in North Georgia told me, hey, make sure you have the flute. What is it?
I never remember if it's a flute or a flute.
Okay, whatever. But they basically said, be sure you have that open.
That pipe that goes up the chimney.
Correct. Make sure that thing is open. And I'm like, well, why? Because otherwise you're going to have smoke all in your house. I'm like,
well, I had one time, and again, pre-internet, when it's locked, when you close it for the, summer or 10 months of winter or 10 months of non-winter, if I phrase that correctly, sometimes an air pocket can build in there. And if that happens, even if you open the thing, it'll push the smoke back down. And I had that one time and couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. And then somebody said, "Oh, you got to light like some newspaper and then stick it up in there to
That's a
just."
lot of work, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's like,
that's
oh,
a
bro, how
that,
about
that
if I just crank the heater?
that's a lot of work. But yeah, I miss that part of the house. I may have told this story sometime in the last 17 years we've been doing this podcast, but I did learn after I got into the house that I ended up having to have a some kind of screen put.
Oh, to keep birds out and stuff.
Because one of the I still remember. You ever get scared that you can remember? And this was good grief. Oh man, about 30 years ago. All right. That you can remember the jolt to your heart. You're so scared. And I was in this house. My wife hadn't moved up yet, and I was by myself. Just bought the house, and I didn't really know which way was. I didn't even know the house well yet.
Hmm.
So I'm by myself in this house in the North Georgia hills. Love the neighborhood, beautiful neighborhood, but you know, it sits on an acre, so it's kind of quiet. I'm by myself, it's dark, and I go into the living room. Heck, I don't even really know where the light switches are in that place yet. And I flick on the light, and I'd have sworn it was a bat, but it was some kind of bird I learned about, some black bird that apparently is fond of chimneys. I don't know, but that thing had come down the chimney
Got in your house.
and had taken residence. I guess couldn't get out. Couldn't,
Yeah,
it didn't know to fly back up the chimney. And I don't know how long it had been
it's not like
in
it
the.
was Santa Claus.
So then I got to go try to and I'm like, I don't want to kill this thing, but I ain't gonna sleep. And I eventually, I want to say I used a tennis racket to kind of pin it. Yeah, I didn't kill it, but
Uh-huh.
I somehow I got it into a room and shut it off. Then it was just me and the bird in there, and it's kind of funny. I know the bird's terrified, but so am I. And I remember I got it. I guess I threw a blanket on it or something to get it right. I didn't want to
That's
touch it
some
because
effort, man.
yeah, I know. So I get it outside. It's pitch black. It's probably 11 o'clock at night. I turn this bird. I hear it fly off. Takes off. That bird is lucky that I was so scared that in the process of me trying to get it out of the house, that I didn't do an inventory of all the places it had crapped in
Oh
my
man.
in my living room.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's cute. Yeah, 'cause then he'd have died. Huh?
yeah, then I would not have been. Then like me, okay, you sort of. But of course, hey man,
But
who
to
am
be
I to
honest, once you're
judge?
tagging a bird with a tennis racket, it's probably just as hard to get it out alive as it is to kill it.
Well, it'd have been easier to kill it. It'd have been far easier to kill. Yeah, like, that's just how it works. It's easier to kill something than to, gently try to get it out of there. But different bird story. But this happened last week, maybe the week before. So again, it's been a pretty. I've been traveling quite a bit, but when I'm home, I'm home.
Hmm.
Got the windows open. It's a beautiful day, and I go outside for whatever reason, I'm going outside. And I look, we have a wrought iron fence in one part of our house, and I saw, the heck is that? I saw a couple of vultures,
Oh wow, I've had
big,
them in the back. Yeah.
big vultures, right? Well, I walk out through our detached garage, open the garage door. There were like 12, massive, and several of them on my driveway. And I'm like, what what's going? And then apparently it was a squirrel. Some squirrel probably got hit by a car or
All
something.
right.
And I'm thinking, man, that's some slim pickings there. You got 12 large
Yeah.
vultures kind of taking turns of trying to figure out who's going to get the squirrel. And when those things take off, dude, those things are big. I mean,
Yeah, we had a couple of them on the little by the little creek behind my house a couple of years ago, and they're just sitting there though. There wasn't anything dead. They're just sitting there with their wings spread out.
oh yeah,
People
yeah.
say they just kind of sun their wings or dry their wings or something.
I guess. But when they take off, man, you can hear. It sounds
Oh
like
yeah.
sound effects. But so apparently there's a flock of them because I've seen them before that have whatever territory here around Sugarland. But yeah, that was, uh, you know, I'm glad it was just a squirrel. It's a little ominous. It's a little ominous. You
Yeah,
walk
you need
out
to
there.
call the cops.
Yeah, you walk out there. Oh man, hang on. Oh, yeah, exactly. I hope somebody didn't. But Yeah. So, what a week, man, or a couple of weeks. I forget. We were, I was
We
traveling
were
last week.
You were traveling last week. I had a wedding, so we just couldn't connect.
All right. Right.
But it's been an eventful.
Man, I don't even know where to. They got good. Okay. So I guess the one that is right off the bat, because I saw it coming, when it started, and I thought, okay, I'm not believing I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And we're talking about the Brian Kelly firing and everything that went on with that. And my son Abe is doing internships at WAFB.
Yeah. So you got the inside connection.
So he was at the station during the LSU Texas A&M game. He's too low on the totem pole. Apparently, LSU has cracked down. In the old days, the local stations would get to bring a bunch of runners and
Yeah. I think you don't have as
right.
many licenses or
So
whatever
right.
permits,
In past years,
media passes.
Abe would have been able to, be on the side of the field and
Hmm.
just, doing gopher work, but they don't let that anymore. So he was at the station with some other, like, folks and maybe the assistant director and stuff when all the game was. And but those of you, again, this is 2 weeks after the fact, and whenever you guys are listening to this, it could be weeks from now.
Yeah.
But the Texas A&M LSU game was just
Yeah. No, that was a week ago. That was last weekend.
okay. A week ago, okay, was
Yeah.
just awful.
Atrocious.
Atro- it was.
Where LSU was up by 2 points, and I didn't watch a play of the game because I was at the wedding. But
Oh,
LSU was up
okay.
by 2 points at half. Then suddenly in the third quarter, they're down by like 21.
I watched the entire game, which I don't normally do, but it was on. It was the primetime game,
Hmm.
and it was of course I could not do that right now because ESPN and
Yeah,
YouTube
well,
TV are at five. So we'll save that for later. But a pox on all of them. I hate Disney. I hate ESPN. I think they're evil. I hate YouTube now. Hate them. I hate them all. I'm an equal opportunity hater, but I'm not watching any college football on ABC today because I'm not getting the app. I'm not doing
that's a
that
none.
nonsense. Exactly. I'm
But
like,
even with the app, like I tell you, I have the ESPN app. I can watch the ESPN games, but not
no.
the ABC games.
Well, so anyway, so Abe was, texting, we're texting a little bit during the game, and remember after you said, well, he's fired. Well, I remember the time Abe said, oh, he's probably going to get everybody around here's thinking he's going to be fired, and I texted back, well, it might be a little more complicated than that. I mean, that comes with a
I thought for sure at least the you know he'd have fired some of the coordinators first.
well, the story I get. Those of you that are not caught up on this, and actually, it's become a national story.
Right,
We're going to get
right.
to
And I
that.
don't know that the whole go on where you're going. No.
Right. So I figured at the time that, yeah, I know there'd be a huge buyout. The story that came out after was that, um, again, we got to be careful because we were talking about the Tyron, was it the young man's name?
Kyron Lacy.
Okay, we were going off a few weeks ago about all the latest news and found out, yeah, not all that was true. But in this case, I heard somebody reported that they were pressuring him to like fire
Our
one
offensive
guy,
coordinator.
and then Kelly apparently said he was going to fire everybody, and basically like a punk. Like
Yeah,
seriously, you think that's the problem? So you think the problem is the entire staff you hired
yeah,
if you get right. So anyway, um, it's here and there, and I'm like, well, we're going to see what happens, and then we hear, oh, he's gonna be fired. I'm like, man, everybody's like, making that. I even made a joke about it. I made a joke about I spoke in Scottsdale, Arizona on whatever day it was, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was after
hmm,
Tuesday, I think it was, or Monday. Hey, you know what? It doesn't matter, but yet I'm still stuck on trying to get the right day. Um, and I had a thing, I have a thing in there. I talk about my kids real quick, and I had a picture of Abe at WFB, whatever. And I said, and by the way, he was in the station when the
yeah,
biggest story and what was happening. And I put a thing with Brian, Brian Kelly's picture and stuff. And then next thing that came up, $53 million to leave.
yeah.
Right. And I said, my son said, man, Brian Kelly's having a rough week. I said, no, Brian Kelly's having the best week of any person in the
Well,
United States.
I saw somebody figured out at that rate that was like $1,800 an hour,
I take it.
eight for 24 hours every day,
Yeah. And,
um, guaranteed.
guaranteed.
But
Guaranteed.
see, I heard afterwards that no, that it was, the whole deal was straight up. First meeting, he was fired. There was no argument. He was just straight up fired. But again, there's
Okay.
so many stories, and then so
Exactly.
many. fake news outlets. Once you click on one thing, you're getting 1,000
So
stories.
all this is bubbling. All this is going on. Okay. And I don't know if I was watching it live. No, I didn't think I watched it live. It must have been something that came up on either a Facebook or whatever. And it was a clip of Jeff Landry at a press conference. And he's kind of flailing, to whatever, and he's all mad. And then he says something about, he's the letter director is not going to be hiring whatever. And he says, I'd let
I let
Donald
Trump
Trump.
hire before.
So here's the deal. I saw this, and Juan, my hand to God, I swear to you, I thought it was an AI generated video. I took it and I sent it to a buddy of mine who was really connected with the administration. And I said, tell me this is AI. And it came back. He said, no, it's legit. I'm like, wow.
This is the thing. I mean, I was thinking about this morning. You remember months back, or probably like in the spring, when he injected himself into, the whole national anthem thing on sports,
Right.
and that, they're not going to walk off at LSU. It's like they never came on.
He's
It was a
criticizing
non,
it was the women's basketball team.
right.
Right.
It was a non-issue here, but he's injecting himself into it. And I
No, no,
think,
no, clear that up. The thing was he complained that LSU was not standing or whatever for the national
right.
anthem. But the fact is they didn't come out the locker room,
Right. They weren't out there. They weren't sitting. They
nor
just
had
weren't
they
there.
ever. In fact, apparently a lot of college teams they don't come out onto the court
Right.
until the national anthem is over. So
So he made a big deal out of something that wasn't even real. And I think Jeff Landry is getting to the point. Look, Trump can say anything
Mhm.
because it's Trump, because it's his personality. He can spin it off. He'll say something, more outlandish that you'll forget about what he said before. And I don't know if Jeff Landry thinks he's Donald Trump and can pull
Mhm.
that off. But dude, they got a whole lot more people, or a whole lot of people who are more powerful involved with LSU
Yeah,
than Jeff Landry.
and who are not term limited, who are not.
Right.
Um,
So
yeah,
that's
I
just
think it was. But here's the deal: if you go back and listen to what he was saying, and that's what annoyed me a little, and that's where you got to step back and here's the deal. I've said this before. I'm far more in his camp than not. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. Here's the deal: I'm not even a Louisiana citizen anymore. But
yeah.
I got friends, and yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm a Landry supporter. I want the
Yeah, well, I
state.
like him.
I want the state to do well. I personally think the state is doing better now than it was. Now, personality is that's the other thing too. People want to get all, mad but look, it's like there are some fights that even if you win, you're not gonna win.
Right. It's like, all the other problems here must be solved.
That was my
Jeff
first
Landry
thing.
chiming in on the L. He's getting involved. You remember?
Or
Not
to know,
remember
yeah.
because neither of us was alive. But Huey Long was famous for injecting himself into LSU
Oh,
football.
famously, like he
The
he
dude
hired
would
and
call
fired.
plays. He was on the sideline for
Okay.
every home game. He would stop events in the state if they coincided with an LSU home game.
Well, didn't they? But also, like, didn't he sink in just unbelievable amounts of money into LSU to get back at Tulane?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Tulane
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tulane was the dominant
Mm-hmm.
university in
Yeah.
Louisiana back in the day, and I don't exactly remember how they got on the wrong side of Huey Long, or maybe just Huey. I don't remember how or why that Huey Long made it his. Well, he had a lot
Right,
of
it was his
missions.
mission. Huey Long would lead the band on the field. He
Right, right.
finagled government money, and I'm sure we've talked about this before, to build the stadium.
Oh, listen, but
That's
and here's
why they
also the
had
thing.
dorms in the stadium for decades,
So
because he said there's no money to build a stadium, but there's money to build a dorm.
whenever they're talking about you and bringing up examples of Huey Long, here's a hint: it's probably not positive. All right,
No,
everybody, because Huey Long now it was so long ago. It's almost it's almost quaint. People like talking about Louisiana's Louisiana, and
yeah, it's
back
just folklore.
back in the days of Huey Long, and I'm like, that guy was like he was a heartbeat from communist. I mean, he was a
Right. The
socialist.
whole chicken in every pot thing,
Yeah.
that was about as socialist as you could get.
And you were dealing with and you know what? And right in his, and the other one after that ends up being Edwin Edwards.
Hmm.
Edward stuck his nose in a lot.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun. He stuck his nose in a lot of things, right? I remember Edwards being involved heavily in getting Bobby Hebert to the Saints. Do you remember that?
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
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 So not quite. So anyway, my thing is, you're at let me say a few more times. You ever catch yourself doing that? A. Sorry,
It's all right, man. It means you're thinking.
I know. I'm still working on the be quiet while you think, but then that sounds like
Yeah,
dead
but that's
air.
weird.
I know. Then it sounds like dead air because there are a couple of podcasts I listen to, and I guess they are more
More in
trained,
sync with their thoughts in their mouth.
or when it comes, it's like Elon Musk. If you listen to Elon Musk, you get big gaps
Mm.
because he tends not to fill the silence with the uhs and the whatever,
Yeah.
but sometimes you think he
He's a
turned
deep
off.
thinker, though, man. I'm
He's a
not
deep
that deep.
thinker. And you do sound smarter. You sound smarter when you pause, but when you're doing these things, it sounds like it clicked off. I got to look at the phone saying, "Wait,
Yeah. Yeah.
I hit did I
Elon's
hit
trying to
pause?"
process thoughts. We're
All right.
trying to have one.
So he's doing this press conference with whoever's standing behind him, and it was something I think on the podium said protecting the most vulnerable or something. I forget what the purpose of.
It could have been because they passed something here for the people on SNAP benefits, I think,
Okay.
to
But you know
cover
what?
that.
So that should be a big political win. You're standing there, and here's what
Right, while
you
the
do.
rest of the country is crying about, oh my God, Trump's starving children.
So they have the reporters here, and I guess there was a quote unquote sports reporter there that asked the question. Listen, you gotta walk in there knowing, okay, you're probably gonna get questioned here. It's one of these. You know what? That's not what we're here for today. I'm well aware of what's going on. As the steward of the state and of the state finances, I am going to be involved, and we're going to make sure. We're going to figure out what's happened, and we are going to make sure that the state of Louisiana is not going to be taken
Right,
advantage
not on the
of.
hook,
Okay,
not
okay,
looking
all right,
at
all right,
it.
all right.
Because he's come out after saying, well, the state could be on the hook for that. No, they're
No,
not.
it's actually not. But the point. But the other thing is when you start getting into about how LSU deserves to win, like the poor people, they deserve a winning team. Wait, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
the word deserves
I think he
is
said that.
so overused.
Am
Oh
I?
no, it's like, yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. Let me
He
be
didn't.
sure.
It may not have been that word, but it's that intention. It's
Like we're
that.
gonna win. We're gonna set it up for success. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on now. That seems a little bit beneath what the. And look, it's spur of the moment. It's you're commenting on. I get it. It's okay. We're Cajuns. We get passionate. Don't
Right.
get me wrong. You put me in front of there, I may get riled up too. But and then I think it became after that. To me, you got to learn how to say no to an interview request.
Hmm.
Went on Pat McAfee's show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see it?
I didn't.
Oh, I
I
watched the
heard that he
entire. I
did though.
watched the entire thing, and I would say that about 50 to 75%, I thought Jeff came off well. But you got Pat McAfee while he's talking to Governor Landry, mimicking a Cajun accent. Like I'm sorry, that's the kind of thing you can do. Like put it this way,
So he was making fun of him.
it comes across that way. Now
And I like Pat McAfee.
being sort of respectful, but when look, um, it's like with Trump. You never hear anybody interviewing Trump and then using the Trump voice to interview him
Right.
because that's
He'll
not
walk
going to
out.
go well.
He'll walk out,
Oh,
you know, trash your network for
100%.
days on end.
And so even though McAfee said some positive things and everything, he again to me that's disrespectful as all get out. That's like if somebody I know I got an accent, I get it all over the place. We had Halloween here last night. We'll get to that. But people that I've spoken to are just like, oh, what part of Louisiana are you from?
Yeah.
I get it. I was in Scottsdale, Arizona. Right, this old guy. He's a director of a bank. They're all old. Good folks. This guy. I forget what state. It might have been New Mexico or something. And he loved me. He loved me, man. He just kept coming find me for stuff and just, whatever. And other people, and he just he wanted to be my friend, and I was ready to be his friend. What the heck I'm going to do? And he says, yeah, man. He says that, oh, yeah, I love Louisiana. Love the people. He says, are you a coon ass? And I looked at him. I said, well, it depends who's saying it,
Yeah,
And he laughs a little bit. And then he had some other guys there with him.
Are you signing the check? And I am.
We're kind of kidding about that. And I said, yeah, I said, no, man. I said, there's nothing wrong with coon ass, but it depends how much bass you got in your voice when you say it. I mean, anyway, he's on McAfee, and McAfee, like I said, go watch the interview.
This is the other thing too. Going on Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, he's all over the place.
He's a clown.
Show.
He's a clown.
Why would you go on that show? You're not a sports guy. You're not, there's no value in that. That's going to be somebody trying to make sports news by getting you to say something outrageous or getting you to affirm something that you said that's outrageous.
And to a point, okay, here's the deal, and here's where it's frustrating, because part of the argument, I think Jeff and whoever is right on, these contracts are ridiculous. Okay.
Oh yeah, and look, I get it. The now former athletic director was the AD at school at Texas A&M.
Correct.
When they,
72 or $77 million buyout on Jimbo Fisher.
Right. So the two biggest buyouts in history
are his.
But that dude didn't sign that. That dude didn't work that contract out by himself.
Well, now here's the other thing. What was interesting, and again, I didn't know this about shared agents. The guys that did I get this right? Does the AD of LSU have an agent?
Yeah. And I saw something about he and what the hell, Kelly had the same agent.
All right. Well, that is wrong. Okay, that you can just say that. But anyway, so our Louisiana folks are all in on this, probably yelling and screaming at the wherever you are listening to this right now, the rest of the country. Hey, but it has become a national story,
right?
And I don't think it's a plus. I like with my
I mean the chances of LSU landing a really high level coach now in my mind.
It can't happen. Here's why. Because the person, and everybody knows Lane Kiffin is the guy. If they had their choice right now, him or actually the guy from Indiana, the coach at Indiana is apparently he's all it now, but he just signed a big extension.
Right, he got locked in. Kiffin's not locked in yet.
Kiffin's not, and Kiffin probably made $50 million by not signing his extension yet, because somebody's going to throw. It's either going to be Florida or Ole Miss that throws, and guess what? He's going to have a big old guaranteed contract.
Right. He'll have a choice of where he wants to go.
Now, I think that needs to break. But so here's why it can't happen at LSU. Because LSU will not be able to justify paying Kiffin an enormous amount of money when we just went through this hissy fit. And why would Kiffin sign up for the incentive plan?
Yeah.
No. So
it's but Scott Woodward, the AD at athletic director at LSU, under his watch, we've got they hired Kim Mulkey. They hired the baseball coach. Baseball coach has 2 national championships in 3 years. Kim Mulkey brought a national championship. There's several, other secondary sports that have landed national championships, but as with everything here.
But look, as we all know,
football pays the bills.
Football pays the bills, and if you gave anybody around LSU the choice, you want a football national championship and all the other programs can go away, they get rid of them. No disrespect, baseball. Baseball's cute. Baseball's fun. Everybody loves Oklahoma, the Omaha. That's all. But end of the day,
that's not where the money comes from. Yeah,
it's not anywhere.
You got 100,000 people, 100,000 seats or butts in seats,
and all the other things,
premium ticket prices.
But I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think the game's changed anyway with NIL. I think coaches are overrated. I flat out do. I think now it's about recruiting, and The talent you need now is lining up the donors and lining up,
Well, Nick Saban on game day this morning.
which I
Um,
can't see because I got YouTube TV
right.
and
So
ESPN is
coming up
not.
next,
Yeah.
um, gave a perfect analogy. He said the NFL is very vertically aligned. Yeah, the front office, the accounting people, the coaching staff,
Right.
all vertically aligned. Now, college football is very horizontally aligned because you've got more outside influences impacting the game or impacting the organization
Yeah.
than you do inside influences.
Right.
You've got the co-ops who are out there raising money. You've got the NIL specialist, you've got the marketing arm of it. And, whereas, you know, do they have a say with on the field stuff? Probably not. Do they have an influence? Hell yeah,
Oh
because it's like,
yeah.
well, you know what? I gave you 2 million last year and you sucked,
Yep. Yep.
so I'm not giving you that this year.
Which is why, I think that the knock always was certain universities, including Alabama and LSU and others, were a little more, shall we say, look the other way with some of the
Oh
payments and
yeah.
some of the, okay, the schools did this all over the place, but the SEC was well known for it. Now that it's out in the open, I'm sorry. That's why Oregon's going to be good because they got Nike money forever. You got and all these state universities. You got the alumni, and then all you need is you just need is a few billionaires
Right.
that are crazy enough to say,
Well, you got one that just stroked a big check.
yeah, well, so, but I honestly think hire an up and comer. I
Well, this is the only thing
I
they've
think
got. Like
coaching. I
they
think
said on
coaching
the
matters,
short
but
lists, and this again is so early on, but on the short list of athletic directors, they listed the athletic director at Southeastern University in Hammond,
not gonna happen.
which is the equivalent of Nichols. And no offense to either of those
Nope.
universities, but come on.
No, hey, be careful, man. Looks like, I mean, knock wood, we're gonna find out. I don't even really know the guy, but there's a chance that the next president of LSU is a South Lafourche Tarpon, brother.
The guy at McNeese.
Yes, and a graduate of Nicholls State. Now he's graduated a few things, but I would love to see me a South Lafourche Tarpon and Nicholls State colonel as the president of LSU. Of course, I think he's Jeff Landry's guy, and now there's a fight, so I don't know what's. We'll
Yeah.
find out what kind of stroke. We'll find out again. What's going to happen? Stay tuned, America. Now, granted, we beat that up. I think we might have missed the biggest story of the week, though. Tulane University, apparently, if it wasn't them, Tulane or somebody,
It
set
was Tulane. I know where you're going.
Tulane. They set a bunch of diseased monkeys loose in Mississippi. Sorry, Mississippi.
Yeah, angry monkeys.
Eh, how you like that? Like
Or
aggressive,
aggressive.
aggressive. You gotta love that. So hang on a sec. Not only because it's not only like, oh, there's no danger, and there was a truck turn. And here's my other thing, and I know I'm all over the place with this. If you are the 18-wheeler driving a truck full of caged, diseased, aggressive monkeys, drive a little careful. You know what I'm saying?
And I like the way that the headlines, diseased monkeys was only in the subhead. Aggressive with the lead.
Yeah, because they normally say, "Oh, no worry, nobody's at risk," and they're
No
saying,
one's in
"No,
danger."
these are aggressive." And one of the stories said, "Kill on sight." They basically said, "Hey, we're not recommending you guys go looking for it, but hey, if you see a monkey walking around the woods anywhere in Mississippi, just go ahead and shoot it." But I got to tell you, I feel
Did they
for
get the last one? Because it was like the New Orleans escaped prisoners. There
I
was
don't
one
know.
still out there.
I had so many jokes I wanted to make, and you can't do it because it's just like, man. But yeah, that was somebody I saw something like what are the odds like? Because the escaped prisoners, that guy lasted months.
No, I think they should have given him amnesty or immunity or
I know
whatever.
he should
Just
have won.
'cause.
Should have won. He
Right.
took us.
Let him be a consultant now on catching escaped prisoners.
If you remember, our boy Jeff got involved with that too. Remember when they first came out, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, they were posting on Facebook almost like a X. They had like an X over the people that were caught, like it was a game. And I'm like, I don't think you want to call attention to the fact it's taken us that long to catch these guys. But no, I was saying I feel bad for the monkeys, and I understand y'all that there's some research that needs to be done, but I don't trust any of these researchers anymore.
But
I think a
then,
lot of
okay,
stuff has
if
been
the
uncovered.
research needs to be done, but why are you now transporting the monkeys somewhere else?
But, and to
I'm
me, like,
guessing
how,
ultimately the monkeys will be euthanized.
I don't know.
I mean,
I,
I meant when they were in the lab.
I don't know. I mean, if you really want to make yourself want to go find somebody and just like dunk their head on the water till they can't breathe, is read on some of the things that Fauci and all were funding back in the
Oh,
day. You ever heard the one about the beagles?
mm-mm.
Sandflies and beagle. Oh, I'm not even going to say it, y'all, because it's like it is unbelievable the torture that these people put animals through. And like I
Yeah, where's
said,
the PETA people on that?
no joke, no joke. But yeah, these monkeys had herpes,
Herpes, hepatitis,
COVID.
COVID.
Why are they still putting COVID? Help me out here. Why are you guys still injecting COVID into animals? I'm. But yeah, did you see? And here's the other thing. And I know AI is the future, and we got AI everywhere. How many AI generated monkey videos have you seen? Like interviewed monkeys being interviewed? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It is to the point. I've had my fill. I've had my fill with AI generated. Even the stuff that's funny, I don't. I'm just tired of it.
Well, it's so there's an app called Quora that ties into Chat GPT, but you've got to have a sign-in code to activate it. And I think if you're like a long time, very active Chat GPT user, you got it. Because
Yeah, I
my
pay for
boss,
it. I pay a monthly thing to chat. I
I pay
use
for
it.
Chat GPT, but I
Yeah.
still don't have the core thing. My boss has it, and you should see the thing. I mean, he's not using it. He's made some funny stuff just for us. Uh, but he's creating videos like you wouldn't believe, not for distribution, but just to show things as
Yeah.
samples and styles. So yeah, oh yeah,
We're
it
at
can
that
do
point, y'all. We're at the
anything.
point. Well, like I said, and I'm not even making this up. I swear to you, that was my first text to my friend saying, "Tell me this video is AI
Yeah,
generated," because it came across that way to me. I was thinking, surely, and I don't want to go back there. We spent like 30
yeah,
minutes talking about it, but I mean, there's no way in the world that Trump got cited in a press conference about, but it
yeah.
did. But it did. What was the other thing here? Oh, it was Halloween last night. We're kind of time stamping this. How was Halloween at the Seminole homestead? Or do you guys
It was
hide?
non-existent.
Non-existent.
That's what. So I left work. I don't know. I left about 4 o'clock yesterday, and he said, "Are you going home? Get ready for Halloween?" I said, "I'm going home. Make sure my lights are turned off." Uh,
Yeah.
we're on the back side of the neighborhood, and we get very few trick or treaters here.
And you're in that gated community.
Yeah, but yeah, it's real gated. There are people parking cars and slipping through that gate.
Yeah, I got you.
But so we just went out to dinner, and but when we came back, it was still. I mean, it was before 7 o'clock. I think we got back, and there weren't that many. Rode
No.
around just to see.
We got
Not a
flooded.
lot.
We had a good, but I knew I figured it would be. It was a
But
beautiful
you got a
night.
big neighborhood that does it. That does it big, and you do it big, right?
I kind of, well, big is it relative term? We set up a little tent thing in our driveway and some tables and us and the neighbors. Now this year my wife she just HEB. She fixed some stuff, but just got a lot of pre-done stuff. And then my neighbor
Mm-hmm.
like does some ribs and they do some food and dessert and we invite folks over. It's something that started, gosh darn it, almost 20 years ago. And we were the only ones in the neighborhood to do it. Now we've got some new neighbors. Um, the ones I remember, I made the comment about. You ever get annoyed by people just like, man, they're spending way too much money on that house, which is a good thing. But I actually talked to them for the first time last night. They had another thing. They did the same thing just across the block, like on the next block.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm sure all their tents were brand new, and I'm sure all their right, we're the Cajun, but yeah, get out there, get the music blasting. I am the obnoxious one that has my Halloween playlist. I got a huge speaker that you can just hear from. And I don't play it where you can't talk, but
Yeah.
if you're coming down the street, it's an ambiance. When people are trick or treating, they're coming down the sidewalk, man, they're hearing some Bark at the Moon. They're hearing some theme from
It's
Halloween.
we had they do it. It's always the Friday before Halloween, I think, and they call it Boo Bash at work, where it is a massive thing. Everybody, or not everybody, because not one. Different departments do themed costumes or collective costumes. They decorate their workspaces.
Hmm.
We get judges for that, and then they do like skits, and so everybody goes out on the lawn. We've got a stage out there and a DJ playing Halloween music
Are
for
you
three
kidding me?
hours.
Oh my gosh.
The administration serves lunch and stuff to everybody, but the elaborateness of some of these costumes and these bits was amazing. And yeah, and then it's nice because it's kind of hard to then go back to work after
It
all that.
makes you wonder though, like, wait, hang on a second. You've been practicing this stuff on company time?
Yeah.
Pretty much, pretty much. And I don't know. Here's the deal. I appreciate adults that like to dress up. I, I I just don't feel it. I'm
I
not.
don't, and
I'm
I've
never. I don't
said
like.
100 times that if there's 99 people at a Halloween party costume and I'm the 100th person and 99 of them are dressed up, I'm more comfortable being the one that's not
It's not.
than I am being one of 100 that is.
Totally get it. Totally get it. But I wasn't. So that there was what's crazy to me, and I guess it's. And I'm not belittling it. It's kind of cool. Is how many parents are are
Yes,
are trick or treating with their kids.
I was going to ask you that. When you trick or treated with your kids, did you
No,
dress up?
no, man. I pulled a cart with beer in it.
Yeah.
So there was typically two wagons, one for their stuff and one for my beer, and with
Right.
other
It's just
dads.
yeah, right. I'm just out and about in the neighborhood. I'm
Yeah.
not, yeah, no, never.
Other dads, but and like I said, I mean, more power to them.
Yeah, yeah, not criticizing you, just not anything. The thought never entered my mind.
No, but it was.
Let me
I
get a
mean,
costume that's consistent with my kids.
knock wood. It was a very pleasant evening. It looked like when it shut down because you always worry about on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah, Friday night makes it worse.
People get a little crazy, but all good. We still have a bucket. I bought a lot of candy, but we still got a pretty big bucket left down there. And I made the mistake last night, man. I didn't eat any. I ate a lot of junk because my wife had a lot of desserts and stuff out there, and so this is me. Like when there's way too many desserts, you know that there's going to be some stuff that's good that's just not eaten.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
So
the
I
hard
eat
part.
stuff
It's
to feel justifying the fact she bought it. Right? Now, what kind of weird mindset is that? It's like, man, I really shouldn't. I'm kind of
well, I don't
full.
want to make them feel bad. People bring food to the office all the time. It's like I don't want to eat that, but heck, it's there.
Uh,
This
so
person spent money on this.
so after I, have although what I realized last night was it might have been like somebody telling me not to drink too much because two different times, and I have some expensive beers. Like I got some that they're it's limited edition, whatever stuff I really like. It's like $9 a bottle. Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, but I love this stuff. Boy, and I had one, I poured it into my cup and I'm sitting on the chair, talking to trick or treaters, whatever, and sit down on the chair and the chair got something broken on it. So I'm trying to fix the thing that's broken on it. And then my phone falls out of my pocket. And dude, scientists could not have found a way to make that phone fall at the angle it fell to catch my beer cup and spill my $10 beer all over I'm like, dang it. Oh man.
Got to lick that off the ground.
So I'm like, well, it was on the concrete. I'm like, man, okay, I'm not gonna. So I'll take that as a sign. I'm sipping on the water, and a little bit later on, that was a good beer. That was a strong beer. But I'm like, I'm gonna get me like a Stella Artois out of the refrigerator. 'Cause I bought a bunch of beer because you never know people come over what they're gonna drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get one of those. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. To me, it's like a Sprite. It's not the heavy alcohol beer. So I'm drinking a beer, doing whatever. I put it down and to do whatever. I come back, I can't find my beer. And I'm like, well, what? And I looked at my wife and so I said, what you doing? I said, I'm trying to find my beer. She says, oh, were you drinking a Stella? I said, yeah. Oh, I threw it away. I said, what? What do you mean you threw it away? I thought it was, we have an older neighbor that came over that I'd gotten a beer for. She, oh, I thought that was Dixon. So I threw it away. I'm like,
Yeah, you 0 for 2, man.
I know. That's why I'm like, well, okay. Maybe I'm getting the signal that,
Yeah, you got the signal twice.
But hey, don't worry, America. I did figure out a way to actually get a couple of them in me later. But then when it came in, same thing. I'm like, I haven't had Halloween candy in a long time. So I had some Milk Duds. I don't know what I saw in Milk Duds before, man. Milk
I
Duds are
like
not,
Milk Duds, but here's the challenge with Milk Duds. Milk Duds must have a shelf life of about 100 years.
well, yeah, they're stale.
And so if you get them and they all stuck together,
Yeah,
then it's like you can't break it with a hammer, it feels like. So
yeah.
you gotta be careful with the Milk Duds. The When we were walking around, so I walked around with the judges at work the other day, and I'd spot candy that I liked, and somebody had bit of honey.
Oh,
And
dude, that
oh,
is the
dude, I
nastiest. I
tore that
know
up, man.
that's the nastiest
Oh,
stuff.
love me some bit of honey.
I'd rather eat wax lips. I'd rather the wax lips with the juice stuff inside than a freaking
Well,
bit.
yeah, I had to, take go in the wagon off and swear off candy corn because I was eating way too much
Oh
candy corn.
man. Yeah.
But I went for some bit of honey.
Yeah, we were what was the pack? I did the Sam's Club deal. Various you can buy different bags. I guess one of our
Hmm.
bags, big bags was like Hershey bars, like little Hershey bars. I think there might have been some Reese's in there. And various things. And then one was like
You get one that's got like the Twix and Reese's
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
everything.
that was one of them.
Then you got one that's got like the Skittles and different
Didn't
kind of
have that
stuff.
one. The other one,
Then
the
you
other
get
one had
the one's got like Tootsie Rolls and
yeah, I
Tootsie
got some Tootsie
Pops in.
Rolls and the pops, the lollipops,
The Tootsie Pop.
Tootsie Pops and whatever. So that was all popular. But let me tell you something I bought that went over like well. Welch's Fruit Chews. The little
Oh
cat.
yeah, kids love those.
Oh man, people they be going through. You tell them. So we'd have several houses. In fact,
Yeah, to come in a little bag.
at one time we had the four houses around our block that everybody was there and they had their buckets, and we would just tell them, "Hey, we're just saving you guys a bunch of knocking. These are the four houses. Just
Hmm.
get something from each bucket." And maybe some of these kids, they start, they go, oh, I guess it's different. I guess nobody in the neighborhood's handing out fruit chews, but they're good. Of course, it wasn't my favorite.
No,
My wife bought me a bag of them with the little ones, and I didn't even put them out because they're mine or the nerds. Nerds are my candy. That's my go-to. So
not a nerds guy.
you can have your bit of honey. I'm a nerds. I'm a nerds guy, but
Well,
yeah,
then so you went to bed, ready to get up and watch some football on Saturday morning, I'm sure.
I knew that wasn't gonna. I mean, I
Yeah.
knew it because it went off yesterday. So I'm. But here's
Well,
what I
this is
know.
the thing.
I'm
So
not gonna
I
care.
I saw a note. I get an email Thursday night about 11 o'clock that pull the plug. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's the whole YouTube TV and Disney or Google and Disney couldn't come to a deal. So now we have, I don't know, I don't have any of the Disney channels, but we got no ESPN, no ABC, the channels that pretty much the best of college football comes on. But I said, okay, well, why is this deal going? Why was the deadline October 30th as opposed to October 31st? And to me, that said, they're freaking going to give them the day to work it out because of college football.
And they
Nope.
didn't. No, no. And it's leverage. And look, first of all, I mean, I know my wife doesn't, she's still a Disney fan. In fact, I'm supposed to stay at a Disney property next week because I'm speaking at something there. But I think Disney's evil. I mean, the stuff they've done, not in the past. I mean, they're wonderful. They're an example of an amazing brand that is just etched into our minds that just like we all grew up that, you know what I'm saying? Disney, man. Disney is wholesome. It's family. It's you. And you just knew if something came out, Disney, it was going to be great. Back in the days, anything by Pixar, when
Yeah.
Pixar put something out, because until they became acquired by Disney, you just book it. If Disney's putting it out, it's great. And now it is
And yeah, recently in
a
recent
trash
years,
farm.
Disney's made movies that they haven't even been able to release because it's such crap.
Right. And they bought ESPN over time. And ESPN's a trash fire. I mean, you think about it, there's a handful, I am the king. I don't watch I don't know that I do it with the sound off, but I don't care. Like I don't want to hear the commentary. Let's
No,
get
I don't watch any of the sports. The only commentary show that I watch, uh, I like Game Day. because I like the host on that, and they're not getting
Yeah.
political. It's not
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
purely analysis.
Right.
Um, and yeah, so I watch that, but other than that, I'm not watching 15 things. And my wife has to be a Houston Athletics fan
Well,
now because
now, of
she's got
course,
to
yes.
watch. It's just like, yeah,
You
'cause
guys are
it's
Cougs now,
sports.
man.
Houston's one of only two schools that has a football team and a basketball team in the top 25. And it's just, the basketball team season hadn't even started.
Yeah. Well,
And I told her, I said, here's the deal. We're gonna make sure that the fire stick is on one of the older TVs upstairs. She said, why? I said, because I'm not watching Houston basketball. Just
yeah.
not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So you can go upstairs and watch your basketball by yourself.
Yeah, man. Support the team, man. Support the team.
And it's
My
like,
son, my son graduated was Houston Baptist back in the day. Now it's
yeah.
Houston Christian. It's so funny. He'll watch, and I'm like, hey, don't take this wrong, Nickel State. I love me some Nickel State. I ain't watching Nickel State football, man. I mean,
No, I'm watching
and hey, look,
Nickel.
and I want them to win. I want them to go undefeated.
Right.
When my son was filming the games, let me take that back. When my son was filming the games, I would watch the games
To
just
see
to
his
see
camera angle.
his shots. WAFB, I got no reason in the world to watch a Baton Rouge station, but I will go find the freaking thing on YouTube to see, Abe Martin. I'll see his.
Right. It's a proud dad thing.
He had the Plaquemine game last night. He did a good
Uh,
job. Did a good job. He's getting there. But
but no, I'm not. My son went to Alabama. I could be up there, saying, "All right, my team." Like, nah, I'm not.
nah, not so much. Not so much. I was in I was in Scottsdale, Arizona, this past week, which is funny. It's like I'm trying to how to describe Scottsdale. I mean, have you ever been? You ever been that area?
No. I don't know that. I don't think I've ever been to Arizona.
Bougie, bougie, bougie. That's where rich people. I mean, that's
Right,
everybody.
right.
It's they got it's sort of like a Palm Desert. It's like and we stayed at this Hyatt resort again. I go where they say it's going to be. I don't.
Right.
It's not me that, but and things went well. And it's happened. I always said, always at these conferences, I always like when I can speak early, because then everybody knows you. Like when you show up to these receptions and stuff before, they have no idea who you are. You might run into a couple of people who know you, and you're a pest. You're the outsider. They look at your name
Right. You're
tag.
the guy who's out there. You're trying to network with
Like I'm
them
networking,
as
right?
opposed to them trying to
Correct.
network with you.
Correct. Now, after you speak, oh, everybody's your friend. That's like,
Right,
that's
right.
the so one of these a bank from they're in two different places. They're in Nebraska and Wyoming. Good bunch of folks. It was some senior people of the bank and then directors. And so bank directors are people, they're just very successful people somewhere else with typically affluent, and they just sit on these boards and so I'm just, man, I'm finished my thing, and I'm like, you know what? I know I'm going to be there the next morning for breakfast to people. So I just go put on some jeans and a t-shirt, man. I get me a beer. I'm just sitting out back, minding my business. And then this guy, a CEO of this bank, walks by, the older guy, nice guy. Hey, oh, you got any plans tonight? And I'm like, well, you kind of looking at him. I mean, it's what I'm says, oh yeah, come to dinner with us. I'm like, I appreciate that. Oh no, we'd love to have you. I'm like, because here's the deal, y'all. Going to dinner is more work than giving a speech, right? People don't understand this. Because it's not like you're just going to go and eat.
Well, your speech is planned out.
And there's a lot more. So, but I mean, and then I also learned, like, you know what, idiot. And they had a bus. They said, no, we got a bus coming to pick us up, and we're going to Morton's. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. And then, so I go back into I go put on something decent. I go put
But
on.
how do you do? Okay, so did they all know each other?
Yes, they were all the board.
So how do you decide where you're going to sit?
They told me.
Okay.
We walk into this private dining room that's got four or five round tables, and they had me sit right next to the CEO.
Okay.
And
because that's always my whole thing when you do that. When it's worse to me when they got multiple people than one, because now it's like I don't really know any of you guys. You all know each other. Who am I going to go inject myself on?
well, the funny thing too, and it's cool. So here's the weird thing. I don't know how anybody. And I'm not a celebrity. Like you end up being like a for a minute because you're the guy they all know. And apparently
Right.
things went well, and they really liked the presentation. And apparently they told their wives about it. So it's almost like you get on the bus and they want you to, like, hey, tell tell that thing again. You know, and I'm like, well, and then they made like a big deal that I was going to dinner with them, and I'm just shaking my head saying, man, this is so sweet and so freaking embarrassing. Like
Well, you got to say, hey, here's the honest to God's truth. I was paid to say the stuff that I said this morning. Unless
well,
y'all are coughing up, passing the hat, I'm not
nah,
saying it
listen,
again.
it
No,
was
I
a
know you can't
lovely,
do it.
lovely dinner. Just really great people, and the funny thing is, you sitting in, you find yourself sitting with folks and people telling stories about this and that, and people that just live another life. This guy was like, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, no, and he said, no, what, weren't you there last summer? And he goes, yeah, no, yeah, we were snorkeling in Greece, and I'm like, just right there, you kind of lost me on the story right there. We were snorkeling in Greece, and then apparently, and God love these folks. Apparently, they're all, and there was several people at the table that all participate in foreign exchange students.
Okay.
And then they stay in touch with them. Like one of them was saying, "Oh yeah, like they're like a part of the family now. Like somebody that stayed with, and did this person, they'll fly them in regularly to." And I'm just like, "Oh,
You
I tell
gotta
you
go.
what,
Here's your go-to on that snorkeling in Greece stuff. You gotta say, oh, bro. One time I was swimming in the bayou.
hey, I know you were snorkeling in Greece, but have you ever fished with a lantern off the old Grandal Bridge? That that is sportsmanship right there, bro. That's sportsmanship. It's sporting. But anyway, super fantastic, nice, and it's just good, and then the next day was fun. I go to breakfast the next day, and the same thing. You just learn. Just go stand, get yourself a cup of coffee, and go stand where people can find you. People come out of the woodwork, just and everybody wants. Here's the deal. I guess comedians must get this, because a big part of what I do is, I tell some stories, make analogies, and have fun with it. But everybody wants to tell me a story, or a Louisiana story. That's the
Yeah.
funny thing too.
I think that's something.
Everybody wants to come up to you and tell you about the person they know in whatever part of Louisiana, and it's cute. I mean, I get it, right? But it's just like, yeah, I got some friends in Louisiana around Shreveport, and I'm like, man, that's not even the same
That's not
state.
Louisiana, bro.
I mean, it's technically Louisiana, but it's not.
Yeah, it's either Southern Arkansas or East Texas.
But I will say this, and shout out, people know Homa. They know, everybody knows
Yeah, I don't
Homa.
know why.
I think it's oil field. There's a lot of people that are
Okay.
involved with, they know Homa, and some know Thibodeau. Some know a bit, but yeah, it's all, it's
I
all.
just always drop the Coach O and the Troy Landry stories.
There you go. I did.
That's it. That's where I'm from.
That's me. That's me. Think I got to go to. Well, I think I got to go. I'm going to Laredo on Monday. Um, I'm thinking now I'm going to cancel the flight and just drive it because I'm worried about air traffic controllers
Uh,
and you know, it's a 4.5 hour drive one way, but the way I figured I'd have to drive from here an hour north to an airport, park, get to the airport about an hour or two, hope the flight is on time,
mhm.
and it's only like an hour flight, if that. I bet you not even. I bet you.
Where
You're
is Laredo in Texas?
it's down. It knocks on Mexico, bro. It's
Okay.
Laredo, and then Nueve Laredo is right across the friggin' river. So I will be probably driving. I will be armed. Anybody's watching, I mean, because I think there's stretches you drive through, pretty desolate. But and then on Wednesday, Wednesday, I'm supposed to fly to Orlando. So I'm speaking at a tax. What am I doing? What's the name of the place? It's gosh darn it, it's banking tax professionals or something. Yeah, I know. This is the one that the guy said it's the Super Bowl of tax accountants or something in banking.
That's one way to look at it.
I added a new slide. I took a picture of my Nichols degree, and I'm going to put it up there. I'm going to say,
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
one of
want,
you, bro.
hey, I just want to address my fellow accountants. Glad to be here, but
That's awesome.
hopefully air traffic control will get me there in time. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, you know what, Brand? I think it's out there, dude. I think much like our Halloween last night with the table, I told everybody the buffet is before you.
It's been laid before you.
It's been laid before you. We're gonna push the button. We're gonna get on out of here.
Dave kept the nerds for himself.
Yeah, I didn't. No, I didn't pull out the nerds. I got them some fruit chews. All right, fruit chews were very popular. They're probably healthier for you than the nerds. But we're gonna push the button, see if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape in the sky. Hope it did. If you want to reach us, y'all, you know how to do it. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com or
Or right here.
just call Juan direct.
That's right.
Just text or call Juan direct. He'll work it out. We'll get through it. Every week we tell you it's not a hint, suggestion, or subtle implication, y'all. It's a
freaking mandate, bro.
Go live your best life. Go live your best life. It's a good week. It's a good week.
I dropped that on a girl in my office who seems to, her moods fluctuate like the wind. And I said, start off. I said, I'm tell you like we say every week on my podcast. If yesterday sucked, it's gonna be easier to have a good day today.
That's right. And if yesterday was a great day,
keep it up.
Do what you did, couillon. You had a good day yesterday. What was different yesterday? Your attitude.
It's all in the attitude, bro.
That's right, man. You don't need more. You want less. I think I heard that in a
I don't know what that means.
The other day. I don't.
All right. Sounds good.
You know what? It worked for me. But anyway, everybody have a fantastic one. I think we can probably get back on the week-to-week schedule now, Juan. We're gonna see how
I'm good, man.
I think the travel, hopefully after this week, I don't know that I got any more traveling to do the rest of the year. So we'll see. So I want to be careful not to promise because the last couple of times I promised, see you next week, and then we didn't.
Yeah, so, next week's is relative. Who knows when they're watching this?
That's right. And we're gonna knock half price off the podcast for you guys.
Exactly.
So there you go. So anyway, everybody get out there, live your best life. Have a great week. We'll come back next week, compare notes, see how things went. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. I was driving through my neighborhood the other day. That little guy, older guy, who see him fishing every morning and every afternoon. Literally, like he fishes behind his house in the morning and then off the little bridge in the afternoon.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, and he's a little Asian guy. So I stopped one day, and I don't know, Joey was out of town. So I said, hey, maybe I'll go fishing. Let me ask this dude if he actually catches fish or if he's just doing this for fun or, for relaxation. So I rolled down the window and said, hey, man, are you actually catching fish out there? And he kind of smiled and nodded his head. And I said, what kind of bait you use? Dude didn't speak a freaking English. Look at English. I'm having a whole conversation with this fella. I'm probably 20 seconds in to asking questions before I realize.
Not a word. English, not a word.
Right? I said, all right, well, you enjoy your fishing there, man.
So you never found out?
No. So I'm guessing, he might be. I wouldn't eat anything I caught out of there, but that could be his deal.
You didn't feel it. You didn't feel interesting enough to to mime like the hook in the mouth. And,
yeah.
What do you? Because or you didn't use the old trick. Just speak slowly.
Yeah. What are you catching?
It's over. Go home.